Hey everyone, it's Tony from the Handlebar Workshops, and today we're in my bathroom. Well, my bathroom and the mechanical room. You've seen in an earlier video where I've done the wainscoting around the bathroom, but there's one big problem I need to cover up here. This area here is the mechanical room, where I've got the furnace, the water heater, my water softener, as well as some other stuff, and a lot of storage here. Over the years we've had numerous ways of trying to cover this up, including this Japanese curtain screen thing here. It never really worked very well, so I'm looking for a bit more of a permanent solution. I'm going to be installing a header across the top here, and I've bought a kit that'll allow me to hang doors on that track and they'll slide back and forth. So instead we'll be using the metal closet doors from my wife's craft room. Those metal doors are bifold doors, so I had to cut the hinges off. And I needed to find some way so I can mount these little casters on top. And then they can go up in a track up here. The instructions say I have to cut the doors down so there's just a small gap between the header and the top of the door. Well, I can't cut the doors down, but I need to make a header anyway, so I'll just make the header so that gap is there. Well, we've already got a problem. As you can see over here, we've got one joist going this way, one joist going this way, and there's another one back here coming up this way. There's a 2x4 going across this way, and all of these 2x4s come up and they meet up to that one. All of this is just framing for the ventilation system up above the ceiling. So looking at this, we've got a 2x4 joist that goes out this way. There's another one right about here that comes out this way. And of course, I want my doors to be right here, right up against that white piece there. Now there's many ways to get some kind of support up here for the header, but only things that involve ripping down freshly painted ceiling, which I don't particularly want to do. So I'm going to be using a molly bolt or a butterfly bolt, whatever you want to call them. I know they've got different names everywhere. This is a 5/16 inch one, and I got to put this up into the ceiling. I'm using 5 of these. These hold about 100 pounds each, so that'd be about 500 pounds holding power across the top. It should be alright, and if everything fails and they fall out, then I've got to replace the ceiling anyway, so I'll do everything correctly at that point. So I'm using the drill bit I used to drill these holes to mark their location on the ceiling. So with this 5/16 inch molly bolt, I need a 7/8 inch drill bit. I'm using insanely long screws so I can get through 2 layers of 2x4 here and into the ceiling and still have enough room for the molly. I need enough room so when this is closed like this, I can get through the drywall and have it open up on the other side. So these mollies here have been recessed into the wood here, so I got a nice flat surface for the track to go on here. I'm going to put up a spacer against the back of the valance, and then the track will go up against that. I've got the center marked right here, and the cut edge that I cut is going towards that end, so the factory edge is going to go up here, and the other one, the factory edge, will go up here and then go this way. So when mounting the rollers on the doors, there's two types. This actually says number 1 on it, and this one says number 2. And you can see from the side view that this one's like deeper, and this one is shallower. I'm just following the instructions, and in our case, the front one needs the number 2s on it. So I'll put the number 1 aside for the next door. The instructions say to have it 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I split the difference with 1.25 inches. Number 2s. Number 1s. Go in the back. Alright, so we ran into a couple problems. First of all, the ceiling is a bit bent. You can see it's nice and tight up here, but it gets much wider here and a little bit on that side as well. You can see these filler pieces that I put on either side, and they're the exact same distance from the floor up to the top of here, and there's much less room over on that side than there is on this side. So another problem I had was when I was putting the molly bolt up here, it just pulled right through the drywall of the ceiling. Fortunately, there's a stud right behind here. I can jack this up and screw it in from behind. That'll minimize this just a little bit, but not much. I'm going to put up a new header here with a piece of trim on the bottom and a piece of trim on the top. The header will be scribed to the ceiling, so it will match the curve of the ceiling, and that piece of trim is flexible enough where it can go up and follow that curve as well. For these gaps in the doors here, I'll be building another door which will look very similar to this, except it won't have the louvers in it. Which brings up another point: why do I even want the louvers here in the first place? Well, these were originally closet doors and allowed some air circulation into the closet. And that's kind of what we have going on here. The furnace here and the water heater back here are gas powered, so we need air to be able to get in there to feed the fires, especially in the wintertime when this thing is going constantly and is putting out a lot of heat. So by having the louvers here, the air can get into that area easily. If they were solid, they might be blowing in the wind as the air tries to rush around them to get to the fires of the appliances. This is the back of the panel. It's just that hardboard masonite stuff with poplar. I just used half lap joints at the top here. I made this part double thick, top and bottom, as compared to the sides, to prevent it from racking. And I also added a center part as well. So there we have it. We've got doors hung up to hide all of the ugly mechanical stuff down here. If you like this video, think about giving us a thumbs up down below or subscribing, because we got plenty more content coming your way. Stuff like this and stuff completely different as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.